brought down after a short.
Player of the game, senior libero Lauren Riskill has control.
Championship district tournaments, we have it here on STSPN.
Sophomore, and then rounding out the starting lineup then for the Arlington Eagles will be David Zachman in the middle, he's a 6'6" senior. So Leighton Martin, Jackson Trotter, Ty Rusko, Jake Willis, and David Zachman for Nick Brown's Arlington Eagles. For the Mountlake Terrace Hawks, their head coach, longtime head coach, Nayland Sood. Steve Willis, did we decide that Ken Roberts and Nayland Sood are tied for longevity?
Yeah, I think they both came in the 2000-2001 season as head coaches.
So Nayland Sood's been at Mountlake Terrace a long time.
Nayland Sood graduated in 1987, and his first coaching job was the JV team in the 1988-1989 season. How do you like that? They went 4-16, by the way. They didn't have a very good point guard. I'll just leave it at that.
Have they named a parking lot or a wing or a restroom or something after him down there yet?
No, they're talking about, naming like a plaza or something, but we haven't quite gotten there yet.
Okay. So they're introducing the lineups here. We'll give you Mountlake Terrace's lineup. They will start Chris Megan, a 6-foot senior, along with Jackson Dubiel, a 6'2" junior. Logan Tews will be in the starting lineup, a 5'11" junior. Zevion Jones, a 6'2" junior. And Savit Singh is a 6'3" sophomore. So Megan and Dubiel, Tews, Jones, and Singh for the Mountlake Terrace Hawks. For the Arlington Eagles, Martin, Trotter, Rusko, Willis, and Zachman. And we will take a break. You have tonight's opening tip-off and game action coming up. Mountlake Terrace and Arlington. Next stop is the regionals. Both these teams will be going on, and who will get the #1 seed out of this Northwest District, that'll be decided here in just a couple of minutes. We're live at Everett Community College. Stay with us. Back with more and the opening tip-off right after this timeout.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
the Mountlake Terrace Hawks, head coach Nayland Sood. Arlington Eagles, head coach Nick Brown. Today's game brought to you in part by the Lake Stevens Ace Hardware Store, Glass by Lund, Snohomish County PUD, David Buster's, Everett Engineering, Marysville Toyota, most steered clear from the Washington State Traffic Safety Commission. Both teams on the floor. The officials tonight, Eric Eiflin from Snohomish County, he's got the basketball. He is the referee. Will Hart from Seattle, Ted Kubisiak from Whatcom County. The ball is in the air, and we are underway, and it'll be the Arlington Eagles that will control. Arlington, the visiting team tonight, the number 2 seed coming into the tournament. They're in the navy blue uniforms, moving to our right. As top of the key, that's Jackson Trotter goes in, laying up off the glass, no good. Zachman goes up on his shoulder, and I thought he carried it out of bounds. In fact, he did carry it out of bounds, and it'll be given over to the Mountlake Terrace Hawks. Mountlake Terrace in the home white uniforms, trimmed in black. I think there's some red mixed in there somewhere.
I'm sure it's there somewhere. Maybe not.
It's buried deep in there. So it is Mountlake Terrace's first run with the basketball. Singh has it down low and puts it up and in. And the first 2 points of the ball game goes to Savit Singh. Gets the first 2 points, and it's a 2-0 lead for Mountlake Terrace.
And that was a great high-low post-to-post pass. Xavion Jones right there finding his front court mate, Savit Singh, on that catch. Tough catch in traffic right there, but great finish.
Ty Rusko, top of the key, swings it over to Jackson Trotter. Trotter with it. Down low as they got it to Martin, and then he hooks a pass in the corner. That shot by Willis that will not go. Back out topside for a shot by Martin that won't go. Kept alive again by Arlington. Reload one more time. 0 for 3 on the possession. They may get one more. Add in a miss by Rusko, and Leighton Martin has it. They keep getting offensive rebounds, but that means they keep missing. 21 on the shot clock here. Martin top of the key. Little jitterbug move, swinging around the left-hand side. That's a travel.
Yep.
As it's going to be a travel on Ty Rusko, dragged the pivot foot, 4 shots at it. They couldn't get one of them to go down.
You know, and that's one of those things where Rusko had a good look at that. He was turning the corner, but had those feet just kind of slide out from under him a little bit. But you like that as Nick Brown, Arlington Eagles. You got 3 offensive rebounds right there. Long boards, crashed them hard. That's great energy, even though you didn't get a point on it.
We're a minute and a half into the ball game. It's a 2-0 lead for Mountlake Terrace. Low scoring so far. I don't think we're going to stay that low too very long. Xavier Jones double team. That means somebody's wide open, and that is going to be Jackson Dubiel with the bucket. The lay it up and in. It's a 4-point lead for Mountlake Terrace in the district championship game at Everett Community College.
Nearly a no-look pass. Xavier Jones, I think, just saw Dubiel at the corner of his eye and just rifled it right to him underneath. Love that presence of mind by Xavier Jones.
Underneath it goes, a lay-in up. That's going to be a miss, no good by Zachman. Ball goes out of bounds. Looking for help. They're going to say, stay on this end. Leighton Martin, who had happened in the girls' game, it's also happening here. He's playing on his grandpa's court. Larry Walker is Leighton Martin's grandpa, and this is Larry Walker Court here in the Walt Price Student Fitness Center at Everett Community College, and a foul is going to be called here off the inbounds.
I don't think Xavier Jones liked that Zachman was about to set a screen on him. Just kind of gave him a two-hand forearm shiver right there. Get called for it, but sometimes that can be allowed to play.
On the inbounds, it goes to Zachman. He misses. Jones grabs the rebound to Dubiel, knocks over a player. They're going to call the offensive foul. The official that came out of backcourt did the punch signal and just about punched Chris Megan. It was the vociferous, boy, that's an offensive foul. What if he had decked him? Wow. Jeez.
Megan's pretty tough. I don't think that would have gone over very well for anybody in the Mountlake Terrace white, black, and red, but Megan's tough as can be. Luckily, there's no contact there, but there was contact on that charge call. I thought it was more of that out of just not in control of your body right there. Dubiel was really attacking hard down the lane. But good job by Charter, give it the body.
First personal foul, but here's a steal. It's going to be grabbed by Logan Tews. Tews feeds it up to Dubiel, puts it at the baseline, tried to feed Xavier Jones. In the air went Jackson Trotter to get the rebound. And they're going to call a foul here on Mountlake. They're playing for keeps tonight.
Boy, and I think
wow.
I think that's Xavier Jones' second foul.
Yeah, Nayland Sood is up talking to Eric Eiflin. Didn't like the call. Jones stays in.
Well, and I think that's something we got to look at just as coaches. I mean, obviously you know your players, but But you're 2.5 in. Great pick right there by Jones on that lob play.
Got the interception and up the floor. Twos has it in front court. MOUNTLAKE Terrace in the white uniforms, the home team, moving to our left here in this opening quarter. Dribble drive going in. Twos has it. Fadeaway jumper from 12 won't go. Rebound taken down by Leighton Martin for the Arlington Eagles. Arlington yet to dent the scoreboard with 3 minutes into the ball game. To the baseline they go. That was David Zachman. Kicks it off now. Somebody all by himself going in. Missed the one-handed lay-in. Jackson Trotter with a miss. Dubiel out of backcourt for Arlington, or excuse me, for MOUNTLAKE Terrace. Puts it up too hard off the window, no good. Kept alive there by Jones. Swatted there by Zachman, and finally a foul's called. And Nick Brown didn't like that foul call. I thought maybe it was a clean block, but he got him with the body underneath.
Yeah, I think there was definitely, there's no question about the call right there. I think what Nick Brown was referring to was right before that, Xavion Jones went over the back to get that rebound off the initial miss. Gosh, that's one of those things that if that was a third foul call, that changes the outcome, or not the outcome, of the course of this game for sure, had he gotten that third foul.
First free throw is good. The free throw was on Leighton Martin, his first team foul. Already 3 fouls called on MOUNTLAKE Terrace. Next free throw is good. The lead is 6-0 for MOUNTLAKE Terrace in the district championship game.
Yeah, and I think Nayland Sood kind of saw the same thing Nick Brown saw, that he didn't get called for his third foul right there. But let's get Jones a breather. Let's get him out right now. We're up 6-0. We have a small lead to start here. Let's not get a third foul on one of our top players.
Yeah, so Jones sits with 2 fouls. Here's Leighton Martin off his knee and out of bounds. Kicked it himself. He's trying to go around, but you probably want to credit Logan Twos with the tough defense on it.
Absolutely, and that's one of those things that just happens once in a while. And Leighton Martin, that probably won't happen the rest of the game, but it did right there, and it sets MOUNTLAKE Terrace back up for another offensive possession, up 6-0.
Terrace brings it up into front court to our left. Rayshawn Connor into the ball game. Now here's a little step-through move. Feed it down low to Singh, and the foul's going to be called. Singh got it down on the low block. It was a nice pass there from Chris Megan, and Singh will be at the free throw line.
And they're going to give that foul. I thought it was on Ty Rusko, actually, but they gave it to Leighton Martin, so that's his second foul now.
So Martin picks up his second personal. Let's go down to Steve.
Hey, guys, and just a quick note here. The Mount Vernon game the other day, the semifinal game to get here, I don't know what the final numbers were, but the plus-minuses when Xavion was in the game versus when he was out of the game were huge. There was a big discrepancy. He was in foul trouble off and on throughout that game. In fact, they built an 18-point lead with him in. They took him out when he was in foul trouble. It went down to 4. As soon as he went back in, they went on a 10-0 run, so that'll be something to watch.
Savit Singh hits both free throws. It's an 8-0 lead for MOUNTLAKE Terrace. Arlington's no offense yet. Bounce pass over to Zachman at the right wing. Back out to the top of the key to Willis. Willis goes elevation, but he kicks it over to Jackson Trotter in the corner, trying to look for a no-look pass, and nobody was looking. Zachman didn't think it was coming to him, and that's another turnover here on the Arlington Eagles. They've got 5 turnovers. I'm thinking 5 possessions and 5 turnovers.
Well, and they started out, they had the 1 possession with 3 offensive rebounds and 4 great looks at the hoop. But this is one of those things that Coach Nick Brown for Arlington alluded to in the pregame, saying Nayland Sood's defensive team just is tough to crack.
Here's the scoop laying up by Rayshawn Connor. That opens up a 10-point lead here in the early going. Timeout on the floor called by Arlington. We'll step out with 3:45 to go in the first quarter. It's MOUNTLAKE Terrace 10, Arlington coming up, you think. We'll be back.
We at Gene Johnson are here and ready to help with our touch-free service. Being clean and safe are at the top of our minds. We're using gloves, masks, shoe covers, and lots of hand sanitizer. Our software allows us to get your approval without any physical contact. We hope you don't need us, but if you do, we're ready. Gene Johnson, clean, on time, and professional.
MOUNTLAKE Terrace ahead 10-0. Do not forget, last year during the championship game against Ferndale, MOUNTLAKE Terrace trailed 10-0 in that game and came back and cut down nets. Back to Tom and Joel.
Thank you very much, Steve. A miss there by Silas Miller for Arlington. Back to a possession by MOUNTLAKE Terrace. We were looking for a travel call, didn't get it. Out by the logo, then dribbling it is Logan Twos for the Hawks. leading it 10-0. Twos has it out top of the key. Swing a pass over the right-hand side to Chris Megan. Dribble drive to the baseline, closed off there. Cross court, that means somebody's open. And on the way, a three ball, no good by Rayshon Connor. Kept alive, back up by Megan. Got the offensive rebound, just picked it clean and put it up and in. And the lead is 12 points for Mountlake Terrace.
And that's so difficult for Arlington. They deserve so much better on that defensive possession. Got a one shot at the hoop and had that ball just carry them off right there. But Megan, Johnny on the spot, grabs that board, puts it up and in.
Leighton Martin is on the bench right now with 2 personal fouls. Foul's going to be called here on Mountlake Terrace. It's going to be Chris Megan picks up the foul. His first personal foul, second team foul. And also sitting down for Arlington will be Jackson Trotter.
And this is that moment with Leighton Martin coming back in. Down 12 zip right now against a really good defensive team in Mountlake Terrace. He's got to be on the court.
Leighton Martin has it, goes into the paint, swings it to the top of the key. Ty Rusko with it, lost a handle on it. Chris Megan on the steal. Megan affected defensively and then picked him clean, and they bring it up, and it's a 12-0 lead for Terrace, and they have the basketball with 2:22 to play here in this first quarter. They force it down low to Singh, goes in, reverse lay it up and good. Little nice passing there. Just about everybody touched it. It's a 14-0 lead. No math here. Arlington's yet to score. Still haven't. Shot by Leighton Martin won't go. Rebound controlled by Mountlake Terrace. Up the floor, Megan looked at a three, couldn't pull the trigger. Has it at the right wing. Starts the dribble, goes into the paint, swing a pass in the corner left-hand side to Connor, goes into the paint. The shot went in. They called the foul before that happened. And this is going to be called on Jacob Thaler. His first personal foul, third team foul.
I appreciated Megan on that possession. He had to look at a three. It would have been a hand in his face, a little rushed, but just a great presence of mind for that senior point guard to know, be patient. We have a 14-0 lead. Just continue to be in control of these possessions.
Staying on the inbounds, as we mentioned, Thaler picks up his first personal foul and the third team foul on Arlington. Minute 45 to play the first quarter. 14-0 lead for Mountlake Terrace. That's a travel.
Yep.
Left a little early. Yep. Rayshon Connor started to go before he started the dribble. That's going to commit the turnover, and it will be Arlington basketball. Down 14-0.
Yeah, and this is one of those that it feels bad. Don't get me wrong. It's 14-0 with minute 40 to play in the first quarter. But Arlington, there's not panic right now. It's standard control, run your stuff. There does seem to be just that stifling defense. Chris Megan get called for a foul right there on Ty Rusko. But there's just that stifling presence with the Mountlake Terrace defense, and they are just well coached and well disciplined.
Second personal foul on Megan, and the fifth team foul. Megan will go to the bench.
And you got a couple stars now with Megan and Jones, both from Mountlake Terrace with 2 fouls each in the first quarter. Leighton Martin, the second leading scorer on the team for Arlington.
Here's a shot on the way, outside right, no good by Rusko, back up and in. First points of the ballgame come with a minute 25 to go in the quarter. Aiden Meese, who came off the bench and scores the first two, it's 14-2. Minute 17 to go, down low they go, inside Andrew Delegadillo will put it up and in, makes it back out to a 14-point lead for Mountlake Terrace. 1:05 to play opening quarter. Leighton Martin dribble drive in. I thought there was an extra step. Puts it up, won't go. Rebound grab down by Logan Tews out of backcourt. Here comes Mountlake Terrace leading it by 14 points, and they will slow things down. Inside a minute to play. Now Tews just changes direction. Kick it back out to the top of the key. Singh looked at a three, starts to dribble, goes down on the right-hand side. Too hard off the window, no good. Leighton Martin, shortest guy on the floor, and he gets a lot of rebounds.
He sure does, and it's just a lot of effort, hard work. He gets himself in the right position so often and reads the trajectory of that ball coming off the rim.
Swing it to Zachman, shoots a three off the side of the iron, no good.
That was a force right there. That's that feeling of down 16-2 in the first quarter. Zachman didn't have his feet set when he let that three fly. He's a good three-point shooter, but have those feet set, be squared up, ready to shoot that ball.
Grabbing the rebound there was Talon Zank. As Nayland Sood's gone deep on the bench here. You can do it with a 14-point lead.
Yes, you can.
13 seconds to go. Dribble drive, hook pass out to Singh. Open for a 12-footer that won't go. And another rebound by Leighton Martin. Down to 4, down to 3. Comes across the logo. Down to 2, down to 1. Shoots, it'll count. It won't go. It won't count. And Arlington has scored 2 points in the first quarter. It's 16-2 at the end of one. Mountlake Terrace with the advantage. Second quarter coming up right here on KRKO.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
This is Witch Doctor requesting immediate hot extract.
Here on the team, you know, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else on the boat.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
If the Arlington School District bus left the offense back at the parking lot back at school.
Yeah, you wonder if we just didn't get the right Gatorade or something like that. But hopefully that changes up here in the second quarter for those Arlington fans. And again, it's rare. I mean, but this is just the defense of Mountlake Terrace and a little bit of discombobulation by Arlington Eagles offense. But Terrace puts a lot of pressure on you defensively to run any of your sets.
Terrace has the basketball. They have the 16-2 lead. We're underway in the second quarter. And we're going to have a foul called.
It's a good call. Good call. It's Savit Singh right there setting a high pick on the ball with the ball handler coming left to right going off it. And that's one of those things when you're up there at the top of the key, you're exposed to everyone and God, and you can't not move on that. And it wasn't much, but he shifted enough with that hit right there. And good call by the official, unfortunately, for Savit Singh.
Savit Singh picks up his first personal foul, sixth team foul on Mountlake Terrace. Outside three ball, too short, no good. A miss by Silas Miller. Ball goes out of bounds and last touch by Arlington, so Mountlake Terrace will take it. Nice crowd on hand here tonight at Everett Community College.
Absolutely. No, there's a lot of fans, good student sections here. Don't have a band, which, Tom, you know I'm partial to the bands being here.
Yep. Here's it underneath. Jackson Dubio puts it up too hard off the window, no good. Then a pushing foul is going to be called. Dubio went hard down after he got the rebound, was trying to pass it off, and who are they going to get? Oh, they're going to call on Terrace. Yeah, Delegadillo will pick up the foul. His first personal foul. Seventh team foul, so that will put Arlington now into the bonus the rest of this first half, of which there's 7:21 remaining. Terrace with a 14-point lead, 16-2.
And I'll tell you what, if you're an Arlington Eagle fan, this is exactly what you needed.
Yep.
Arlington with good free throw shooting. Get them to the line, see if they can't put some of these down and crank into that score, into that deficit.
And Aiden Meese can't do it, misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Grabbed by Mountlake Terrace, they bring it down. Hook shot goes up. It's going to be a miss there by Delegadillo. And the foul's going to be called, and the foul is going to be whistled here on Mountlake Terrace, coming in too hard off the rebound, off the miss by Delegadillo. And this is going to be on Rayshawn Connor, picks up the foul. That's his first, 8th team foul.
Tom, who got that rebound on that one there for Arlington?
That would be Leighton Martin.
Leighton Martin, once again. They have him on the score sheet at 6 feet tall, probably with his shoes on.
Yep.
And, you know, maybe not much, you know, so far in the weight room, but you can just tell he has such a feel for the game. Wiry, tough, great rebounder, sticks his nose into places that might get you beat up and bruised, but he's willing to do it. Love watching this kid play.
His both free throws. Comes from a basketball family, as we mentioned. His grandpa's name is Larry Walker Court, and it's emblazoned on 2 places here on the floor.
And right there, getting him out, and that's important, you think, just for Nick Brown, knowing he's got 2 fouls. If he picks up a third, this really changes the complexion of the rest of this half. But Leighton Martin, those 2 free throws, just see if they can't get a little bit started here for the Arlington Eagles offense.
Mountlake Terrace moves it around, leading it by 12, 16-4. They swing it right side to Logan Tews. To the top of the key goes Delegadillo. As they work it down to 5 to shoot, they're looking down low. They find Delegadillo, goes in, off the window and in. They use 29 of the 30 seconds and score on the bucket.
Man, I thought Zachman had that block timed up really well, and somehow he just didn't get it. Delgadillo got that to crawl over the rim and get in there. Nice patience inside.
Ball went out of bounds off the fingertips of Silas Miller, but it actually was last touched by Mountlake Terrace. It actually hit the official, but he's part of the floor, so he doesn't count. So on the inbound now, Arlington with it. Moving to our right, the dark navy blue uniforms. They're the visiting team tonight here at Everett. Stop in the paint, can't find a shot, so they kick it back out. Rusko was denied there. Rusko gets it back to the top of the key. Little jitterbug move, top of the key, turns, faces, in traffic with the hand in his face and the time expiring. Puts it up, misses, but out of midair they grab it, Mountlake Terrace, so they just will be a missed shot rather than a turnover on Arlington, and Mountlake Terrace with the basketball. Moving to our left in the white home uniform. Dribble across the top of the key. That's Talon Zink. Now to Delgadillo. They give it off, going in down to the floor. We're going to have a pushing foul called here. Connor ends up on the floor. The foul is going to be here on Silas Miller. Picks up the foul, his first personal foul, and the fourth team foul.
And Rayshon Connor had a burst right there that just got him past the defender. Had to foul him as he went by. But, man, what an incredibly athletic burst right there by Rayshon Connor.
Leighton Martin will check back in. You get a feeling Nick Brown's going to do situational substituting with Martin. On the inbounds, we're going to have a foul call. The inbounds went to Jackson Dubiel. He got hit as he let go of the basketball. He's going to go and have to earn him at the free throw line as he missed the lay-in.
You know, and that's just one of those kind of a defensive lapses right there. I mean, just my personal opinion on this, Tom, I would say these are the two best defensive squads year in and year out in Wesco, just with these two coaches putting so much onus on that. But right there, it just kind of feels Arlington's had a couple just defensive lapses. But credit that to Nayland Sood's offensive sets and Jackson Dubiel, just his athletic talent to be able to sneak in there behind the defense and get to this free throw line.
Missed both free throws. The foul was on Meese, his first personal foul. And both free throws are missed by Dubiel with 5:36 to play in the first half of action. Terrace with an 18-4 lead over Arlington. David Zachman rims one out from 3-ball range that will not go. Dubiel brings it out of backcourt. Goes in 1-on-3, lost the handle, grabbed by Zachman. Outlet pass to Martin, brings it into front court to our right. Swings it over to the right-hand side. Looking to pass it off to Martin again, out between the circles. Leighton Martin on the dribble, 19 to shoot. Goes over just above his grandpa's logo. Swing it down to the, looking for Zachman, stolen by Dubiel. Here comes Mountlake Terrace. Dubiel kind of slowed up, took his foot off the gas, swings it out to the right side of three. That's on the way by Talon Zink. Won't go, and rebound controlled here. Leighton Martin grabs the rebound. Martin changes directions 3 times as he comes to the top of the key. Now turns, faces, off the window and in.
That was Leighton Martin saying, I'm going to, the deeper I get into this key, it's going to stay in my hands. I'm not looking to pass this ball. I'm looking to get this shot up, and did a great job of really forcing the issue. Now look see if they can't get, like we talk about, Tom, the score, stop, score. Let's see if Arlington can get a stop here and maybe get another score to cut into this deficit.
Along the left-hand side, that's Logan Tews at the baseline. Shot on the way, won't go. Martin grabs another rebound for, that's just uncanny.
I think he's up to about 6 rebounds so far early in this game as a 6-foot guard, but just does the dirty work that needs to be done.
How about a 3-ball, offline right, no good. Xavion Jones is back in the lineup, and he grabs that rebound off the miss by Martin. We're halfway through the second quarter. It's an 18-6 lead for Mountlake Terrace.
And when Xavion Jones grabs a rebound, Tom, just leave him alone. There's no getting it away from him. He's just so strong and powerful, and gets that rebound right to his chin.
Pretty good football player, too, for the Mountlake Terrace Hawks football
Sure is.
team. Dribble drive along the left-hand side. They swing it down low. As Dubiel was looking for Jones, off of Leighton Martin, I do believe, and out of bounds.
Good call right there. Martin came from behind. But that's just one of those things that Arlington does. They have good help side defense. Leighton Martin, they're not in his zone. They're man-to-man, but he's just sagging into the key to see that lob go up over the top of Zachman, and he goes up there. Wasn't able to secure it, but great job swatting that away.
Looking to inbounds it here as Billy Cooey comes in. On the inbounds, it goes for Dubiel. He misses the point-blank lay-in. Rebound this time grabbed down by Ty Rusko. Rusko gives it up to Martin, who puts on a burst of energy, comes across the timeline. Back to Rusko again. Bouncing pass, looking for Cooey. Grabbed by Dupiel, and the ball went out of bounds. And they say last by Arlington, and it could have been a foul, I thought.
Yeah,
so,
and I think right there, Leighton Martin and a couple of the Arlington Eagles are really wishing that call was made and saying that it was off of Mountlake Terrace. To be honest, Tom, I like that kind of officiate. I do think it was off of Mountlake Terrace, and yet I thought they said, let's not call the foul possibly on Rusko. Let's just give him the ball and play on here, which I respect that.
3:15 to play in the first half. Terrace with an 18-6 lead over Arlington. Right side is Rayshawn Connor. So they swing it around the perimeter left side, goes to Megan, close off of the baseline. They're going to call him for the offensive charge.
Yeah, and
Zachman
that was
right there and took it.
Yeah, and that was Megan right there. Actually, I think what they got him for was he had a hand on Zachman's back as he went to attack. Zachman with him, and he kind of tried to use that right hand just to kind of push Zachman a little bit out of position to try to come back, and great officiating right there. Unfortunately for the Hawks, that's Chris Megan's third personal foul. He's going to have to sit the rest of this half and be very cautious, I would say, in that third quarter.
Megan, as you said, third foul. 9th team foul. Inside 3 minutes to play. A 12-point lead for Terrace. Arlington with the basketball. Leighton Martin has it out between the circles. Fakes right, goes left, goes right, turns, faces, puts it up, point blank, won't go. Cooey grabs the rebound. He's going to be called for clearing out to get himself the rebound.
Yeah, and they've had one call each way.
Yeah.
One on the Hawks Delgadillo earlier, and now one on Cooey right there, or Cooey, excuse me. Just kind of create a little too much space for himself by extending those arms going for that rebound. But again, you got to do what you got to do, and honestly, for Arlington Eagles, they got to make some things happen. So I respect Cooey trying to get that offensive rebound and just clearing too much space.
Coming up on 2.5 minutes to play here in this first half of action. Singh has it for Mountlake Terrace. Now to Dubiel, almost lost the handle on it.
2-3 zone right there by the Eagles, and really trying to trap those wings on it. Now they're dropping back into a traditional 2-3.
Singh, then to Rayshawn Connor out between the circles. One-handed pass right side. It goes to Talon Zink. Back over to Jackson Dubiel. Measures, fires, three at the horn for the 30-second clock. Up and in. Jackson Dubiel just drained that one. The ball was in the air as the horn sounded on the shot clock violation. Timeout on the floor called by Arlington. We'll step out with 2:08 to play in the first half. Mountlake Terrace 21, Arlington 6. Back with more from ECC after this timeout.
Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires.
SJ? Okay.
2:08 to play in the game, in the first half of the game. 21-6, a 15-point lead, biggest lead of the game for Mountlake Terrace. There's Leighton Martin with the basketball. Actually, excuse me, it was Ty Rusko with the basketball. And then a corner jumper up and good by Willis. And Willis puts it in for the Arlington Eagles. Down low, Singh goes in, lay in no. Dubiel follows up, puts it up and in.
You know, and that right there kind of felt like a moment for Arlington. They put that full court pressure on after that three-pointer, and they got the miss off Singh, but Dubiel right there cleaning up the garbage.
Going in with the shot, missing a lay-in, no good by Rusko, grabbed by Mountlake Terrace.
And Rusko's a little bit more of an outside player. He can attack, of course. He's got the athleticism, but he likes to really shoot that outside shot. He's just not getting any room to get it off.
Here's a reverse lay-in up and in by Singh. Nicely done. Went to the baseline. Was closed off on one side. He said, I'll just go over here and put it up over my ear. He does, and it's in.
And Singh's a 6'3" post, a sophomore, doing a great job. And he kind of realizes, I'm not the biggest guy, I'm not the tallest guy, so I have to do a lot of reverse lay-ins just to use that hoop as a protector so no one can block me, and he does a really great job of it.
Zachman with a miss, and then the ball comes out of the hands of Arlington, and then going down to the floor, but they're going to say just knocked out of bounds.
Yep.
Jake Willis
And
after
Willis,
the reverse or the lay-in was missed by Zachman.
And Willis kind of got himself extended right there. He knew he couldn't really explode up to the rim like he needed to. Dubiel kind of got that beautiful block that you knew it was going to have to happen right there. But Arlington keeps possession.
45 seconds to go. Martin turns, puts it up, and it rattles a couple of times and goes in. It's down to a 14-point lead now, 25-11. Finally, Arlington into double figures with a half a minute to play here in the first half.
Arlington in a 2-2-1 trapping press.
Missed or broken there. They go over to the left side for a three. Offline, no. With a miss there by Zink. And the shot clock is dead. 17 to play. Arlington basketball. Leighton Martin. So we count down the seconds to halftime. To Trotter. To Martin again. The left wing. He goes to the baseline. Double pumps here, down to 2, down to 1. It's going to be intercepted here by MOUNTLAKE Terrace. Long shot, no good. Laying down on the floor was Logan Tews as he let go of it, and we are at halftime here at Everett Community College. And we're going to get a word with head coach Nayland Sood. Let's go, Steve.
All right, we're with head coach Nayland Sood right now. Coach, we're losing him here in just a moment. Nayland, really quickly here, 11 points in the first half. I've got to think you're feeling pretty good about the defense right now.
Yeah. Still 16 minutes to go, but good intensity. Got a little bit of foul trouble right there. But we just got to sustain the second half, play good defense, and you know, they're going to come at us again in the second half. We got to tighten things up even a little bit more. So see how things go here.
The other night when Xavion got in trouble, it seemed to be the turning of the game a little bit. Tonight, Delgadillo and Singh both doing a nice job.
Yeah. They're you know, you never know when your number's called. You got to be ready to step up, and they had to step up in that situation. They might have to step up in the second half.
Last question: what do you tell the team offensively? What do they need to do?
Oh boy, I got to think about that. But we want to execute a little bit more, but continue, to play good D and see what we can do with our offense from our defense. That's just who we are.
Thanks, Nayland.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Steve. With Nayland Sood, head coach of the MOUNTLAKE Terrace Hawks. We'll take a break and come back. We'll take a look at the first half numbers. Our score at the half: MOUNTLAKE Terrace 25, Arlington 11. The 3A District Championship is on the line. We'll come back, take a look at scores of other ball games from earlier today as well. Stay with us right here on KRKO.
It begins with the ball. You see, a ball is not just leather and rubber. A ball is the seed that communities grow around. We're talking split-second moments that become indelible memories. It creates lifelong friendships. It's a reason for people to celebrate. A ball isn't just a ball. It's a life lesson. It's a tool you use to pursue your best. It's how you earn your greatest victories. How you learn to deal with failure. It's a test that you pass. It's a dream that you catch. It's a future you hold in your hands. It's not just a ball. Biden, the official ball of you.
We at Gene Johnson are here and ready to help with our touch-free service. Being clean and safe are at the top of our minds. We're using gloves, masks, shoe covers, and lots of hand sanitizer. Our software allows us to get your approval without any physical contact. We hope you don't need us, but if you do, we're ready. Gene Johnson, clean, on time, and professional.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Come with us. The new generation. The next level. Sending it big.
You're in for a good run. Let's go.
Come with us to the track, to the trails, to the slopes, to the surf, to the fight, to the race. Look at this! To the 4 a.m. starts, training harder, pushing further, hitting back, hard. To the fans, to the followers, and the haters. Come with us to the blood, to the sweat, and the broken bones. You rehab. We never quit. We never give up. We take control. To the world titles. To the world's first. The world's best. Come with us. We're just getting started.
It's going to be so much fun. I promise you.
3A, we're deciding the championship, and both Arlington and Mountlake Terrace will go to the regional round. Earlier today, it was Marysville Getchell and Everett playing for that last chance qualifier. Everett got the win 58-54, so the Seagulls will go on, as will the Shorecrest Scots. They got a win last night, as did the Mount Vernon Bulldogs. So Mount Vernon, Shorecrest, Everett, Arlington, and Mountlake Terrace. Joel will be representing the Western Conference 3A, heading down to the regional round.
Yeah, and it's going to be so much excitement. It's really has to do with that RPI like we're kind of talking about. If you're in that top 8 RPI, yes, you're still playing the regional round, but if you win that, you go straight to the quarterfinals at the Tacoma Dome on Thursday, where if you lose that, then you have to play Wednesday at the Tacoma Dome. So being that top 8 RPI really gives you a chance. Even if you lose it, you're still going to the Tacoma Dome. So definitely a big thing tomorrow as the RPI gets adjusted.
And I think we're going to get a word here with, hopefully, with head coach of the Arlington Eagles, Nick Brown. He's having a couple of words here with one of his players, and he's going to go and sit on the bench, and we're going to send Steve right on after him.
Yeah, we'll see. Looks like he's trying to talk to one of his players right now, so I'll
looking for a whiteboard there.
Oh, he's looking for a whiteboard. Coach, just really quickly. Just really quickly, what was the message you gave your guys at halftime?
We're not playing the Nets. We're not playing district championship. We're just playing the MOUNTLAKE TERRACE. We're playing things that are bigger and stronger than us and them. We're worried about things and seedings and all that kind of stuff. We got to play on Monday no matter what. Let's just have fun.
Back to our Eagles basketball.
Yeah, we're not shooting the ball well. We're not shooting the ball well. We're starting to chip each other a little bit. It's everything that we want to do with other teams, and they've done it to us.
Thanks, Coach.
There you go. Short and sweet from Nick Brown. Joel, you got to agree with everything he said, right?
Absolutely, 100%. And this is a program that we've watched over the years. Tom, we love watching the Arlington Eagles. I mean, we don't have favorites, but when you see teams that are well coached and well disciplined and players that do what is being asked of them in that family atmosphere, you know, that's that thing you're saying. They're chipping at each other. We're doing all the things we want to create in other teams.
Right.
MOUNTLAKE TERRACE is creating in us, and so you know, hopefully for that young team of Arlington, they have a couple really high impact seniors, but hopefully that young team can come together right now and say, hey, let's stop worrying about all that stuff. Just like you said, this is just a basketball game. Stop worrying about the net, stop worrying about the seedings, and let's just take care of this next 4 minutes, then the 4 minutes after that, and just really break this down.
Let's go to Buddy Patrick with a look at the stats.
Arlington 4 for 24 from the field, 1 for 8 from the three-point range. Leading scorer for the Arlington Eagles, Leighton Martin, with 6 points and probably a ton of rebounds. 9 turnovers for the Eagles. For Terrace, 10 of 22 from the field, 2 of 6 from free throw line. Leading scorer here, Singh, with 8 points, 7 points for Duty.
And the one caveat, Joel, we do have to mention about the 3A, there's that extra 8 seeds because they have the play-in game on Tuesday this next week because there's so many 3A teams.
That's right. I keep forgetting that, to be honest, Tom, but yes, absolutely.
So 20 seeds instead of 16, and there's a play-in game for the next weekend. So here we go. Arlington with the basketball, down 25-11, and they start out and commit a turnover. Xavier Jones will get it, outlets it up. There's still bodies on the floor in backcourt. Jackson Dubiel just dribbled it off his ankle and out of bounds. Couldn't take advantage. They had numbers too.
Yeah, and I think Jackson Trotter right there, just diving to the court, trying to get that ball away from Xavier Jones. I think he came right down on top of Trotter, and Trotter definitely took the brunt of that one.
Yeah, you don't want him falling on you.
He felt the extreme linebacker part of Jones, maybe less the basketball part of him on that one.
Here's an up fake there for Jackson Trotter, spins into the lane, dumps it underneath, except it goes off the ankle of Xavier Jones, and it'll be controlled here by Jackson Dubiel and brought out of backcourt for MOUNTLAKE TERRACE. Terrace in the white uniforms moving to our right here. Top of the key, Logan Twos. Swings a pass. Dubiel has it at the left wing. Now to Singh again. He looks down low, still looking. Now it goes to Dubiel, top of the key. 9 to shoot. Underneath, Zachman will get the steal. Kind of a low outside pass that he couldn't handle. It's going to be controlled here by Willis out of backcourt, going in with the left hand on the drive. No good. Xavier Jones. Actually, I think he's going to go and pick up the spare because he knocked over 2 of the guards just about.
I think so on that. And I think TERRACE was trying to understand why is this not our ball on that one. It looked like it might have gone out. But Rusko, I like his tenacity right there, attacking the middle of the lane. It is just hard sledding when you get inside that key with MOUNTLAKE TERRACE bodies.
Rusko was standing out of bounds like he wanted the ball, and Savit Singh just pushed him on the back and said, get out of here, it's not your ball.
Not your ball, and Rusko's like, how's it not?
Singh has it top of the key, swings it over to Twos, goes into the paint, kicks it back out on top again to Jones underneath to Singh. And no basket there, and they're going to have a whistle underneath. It's going to be a foul on Arlington. Eagles down by 14 points, 25-11, 6:18 to play. We're in the third quarter in the district boys championship game as Martin picks up a foul, his third. Leighton Martin with 3 personal fouls.
And he looked right at Nick Brown, and he tapped his chest, gave him a thumbs up, says, I stay in, and Nick Brown nodded his head saying, yes, you're staying in.
Jones got it down low and got fouled here. Who do they get this time? It's going to be on Jake Willis. His first personal foul, second team foul. Free throw. Xavier Jones will be at the free throw line. First one is good. And he will get another, opens up a 15-point lead. Terrace biggest lead is 16 points. Arlington scored 2 in the first half. In the first quarter.
Yeah.
And they've yet to score here in this quarter. as now they're working it down to the left side. Arlington with it. That's Zachman. Pull-up jumper. No, it's going to be a pass off to Zachman. Probably should have been a jumper because Zachman couldn't handle it. Grabbed by Xavier Jones. He baseballs a pass up the floor. Dubiel is there. Laying up and good. Timeout called by Nick Brown, and we step aside. 29-11. Biggest lead of the game for Mountlake Terrace, up by 18 points. 5:48 to go in the third quarter. Back with more right after this timeout.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
MOUNTLAKE, this is Witch Doctor requesting immediate hot extract. Taking on heavy.
Here on a team, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boat.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Third quarter. That's almost more shocking than the fact that Mountlake Terrace has a big lead.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of baffled at this one, Tom, trying to kind of figure out a little bit and seeing, through coach's eyes what you want to see more of. And it's like Nick Brown said in the pregame, the things that we get against other teams, we just don't get against Mountlake Terrace.
A long outside three ball for Leighton Martin won't go. Ball goes out of bounds. Martin the last to touch it off the miss. It'll be Mountlake Terrace basketball. Sweet Singh will throw it in here for the Terrace Hawks. They lead by 18 points with 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Logan Tews brings it across the logo in the center of the field. Center of the floor. I would say field. Left side, Connor. Dumping it down low to Jones. Goes around the defender, gets it off to Singh. Goes up, may have been partially blocked there by Zachman. Controlled by Arlington. Martin out of backcourt, behind the back dribble a couple of times. Leaves it, turns, faces, guts it down low to Cooley. Back out for an open three ball on the way that won't go for Rusko. And the rebound controlled by Singh, but stolen back by Martin. He just shuttles the pass along the floor to Zachman, right back to Martin for the laying up and good.
And you just see that you want to try to get into this if you're Arlington. You saw Nick Brown just being such an encourager. Even the last few missed shots, he's just encouraging, saying, that's better, that's Arlington basketball. That was a great hustle play right there by both Zachman and Martin to try to make something happen.
Ball nearly knocked away, but grabbed by Jones, and he got that ball out of midair. Jones did, turned around and then rifled a pass down to Logan Tews for the lay-in. Kind of impromptu, but it worked to perfection.
Yeah.
31-13, 18-point lead for Mountlake Terrace.
And these are those little things you want to try to find. If you're Arlington, you want to just crack into it just little by little, small step by small step. And every time something good happens,
Like
something
that.
something not good happens.
Martin goes to the floor and loses the handle on the basketball, stolen away by Mountlake Terrace. Jackson Dubiel at the right wing. Dribbles at the top of the key, calls the play with the right hand. 19 to shoot. Under 4 minutes now to play in the third quarter. District championship on the line. Both these teams will be advancing to the regionals. Dubiel into the paint. Kicks it over the left-hand side. Going down is Connor. But right there is Jones. Jones picked up the trash. It was just laying there. He says, I'll take it. Going in, and the other end, they get a little Ty Rusko lay-in action there for Arlington Eagles. It's 33-15.
And even when it goes bad for Terrace, as Rayshon Connor hits the deck and loses the handle on it, Xavier Jones grabs the ball, lays it up in it. You're like, it's just, if you're Arlington, Nick Brown, you're like, we can't catch a break right now.
Up fake was Dubiel, goes into going in, the scoop lay-in, and one.
Oh.
That was Logan Tews.
The degree of difficulty on that shot right there, Tom. I mean, what a beautiful, gets fouled on it, is still able to spin that up and in, coming from left to right across the key. The degree of difficulty is so intense on that, and yet he makes it look so easy.
Cooley picks up the foul, his second personal foul, third team foul. And we're going to have Logan Tews at the free throw line for the Hawks, leading it by 20. 35-15. The 3:13 to go in the third quarter. Free throw is good. So he completes a three-point play. The lead is 21 points for Mountlake Terrace. And still a little bit of full court pressure there. Zink will be in back court. He'll just bother Martin coming out of back court. Comes into front court, Rusko. Now to Cooey. Cooey top of the key, looking to pass it off. Gives it to Zachman. Now right side to Aiden Meese. Underneath, going in, laying up and good. Meese found a little avenue to the hoop. Lays it up and in. 36-17 the score. Terrace up big. Out of backcourt they come. Zink. Now to Dubiel. Back to Zink again in the right corner. Dribble drive along the baseline. Goes in. Double team there. Swatted at by Cooey. And then the rebound back up and in. And they're going to give that one to Jones. Got the rebound back up and in.
Xavion Jones just tapped that rebound out of the midair, just right up into the hoop.
One shot on the other end. Won't go for Willis for the Arlington Eagles. It'll be Mountlake Terrace basketball. Leading by 21 points. 2:15 to play in the third quarter. Swing a pass at the right wing. Zink now over to Dubiel. He looks down low. Now he'll kick it to the baseline. To Zink again. Goes in too far underneath. Cooey will pick it off and grab it. Zachman will dribble himself out of backcourt. Elevate for a three ball on the way. No good by Rusko. Missed. Grabbed there. Up the floor. Going in. Laying up. Megan, no, because he got hit, hammered down to the floor. And the foul is going to be called. He was going in for an unmolested lay-in. And the foul is going to be called. Zachman will be called for the foul, called for the block. That's his first personal foul and the fourth team foul. Yet to have a foul called here in this half against Mountlake Terrace.
And Mountlake Terrace is doing a really good job, I think, better this half than the first half at playing defense, which you're like, how is it can it get any better? I feel like they're playing more with their feet, Tom. They're really getting themselves moving, getting in position, making sure they're in front of ball handlers, as opposed to the first half, it seemed like they were getting a little too handsy, hence some of those foul trouble they had to experience, but it hasn't hurt them yet.
First free throw is good. They had a little discussion there for a few moments. The officials talking, one of the officials talking with Nayland Sood. I don't think they were looking for an intentional foul there.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, is that what you think, Steve?
I think they were complaining about David Zachman staring down Chris Megan when he went to the ground and standing over the top of him for a minute. And I think Megan was even asking the official, and the official told him, hey, mind your own business and shoot these free throws.
Yeah, and to be honest, I saw that, and Zachman stepped across him. I don't know. It didn't feel malicious in that. Both Arlington went to Arlington players, and Terrace went to Terrace players. It's kind of that nobody wanted to scuffle there.
Ty Rusko has it at the right wing, goes in, fadeaway jumper from 8, short arms it, no good. Cooey grabs the rebound, no, it's going to be taken away from him. What a pass by Jones, but he can't handle it. Megan can't handle it. You can see it, Jones was airborne, leaning to the left, had it in his left hand, and threw like a screwball.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it needed to be a bounce pass. He did that, but he put so much pace on that, but he had a little undercut to it. I'm impressed Megan got both hands on it. He wasn't able to control it enough, but that's not on Megan. That's one of those, like, good luck trying to catch that ball and do something with it.
No, that was a Patrick Mahomes pass.
Jeez, it was from a different angle and yada, yada, yada.
Underneath going in, reverse laying up good. Aiden Meese, he's kind of keeping Arlington alive here in this quarter. He's got 6 points in the game. It's a 40-19 score, 21-point lead for Mountlake Terrace. Equaling their biggest lead of the ball game. And then
how is that possible? They just called a 10-second back court on. They just called a 10-second back court
on Mountlake Terrace.
On Mountlake Terrace, and yet when they blew it dead, Nayland Sood is up in arms because on the shot clock it says 21 seconds.
Yeah.
It needs to say 20 and actually needs to say 19 for it to be so.
Unless you're counting by twos.
Well,
2, 4.
Yeah.
It goes
maybe that was it, but I think Arlington's going to need a few more of those.
Aiden Meese with a miss, but the rebound backed down by Cooey. Back up for a 3-ball that's going to be an air ball, and the Meese will try for the reverse lay-in off the offensive rebound off the air ball. He misses that. It'll be Mountlake Terrace basketball. 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. corner jumper. Jackson Dubiel, short, no good. Gets his own rebound back up, off the glass, no. Whistle, foul called, and he will be at the free throw line, have to earn him at the stripe. The wheels got a little wobbly in this game here in this quarter, just a little.
Yeah, I mean, and you see a lot of players, Arlington specifically, trying to just give that extra energy, give that extra oomph that they might have just to try to change how things are going, change this outcome. Mountlake Terrace is unflappable, Tom. They are just staying the course. Now, to their credit, when you're up by 21 or 22, it's easy to stay unflappable even if they get 4 points on you in a row. But Nayland Sood is just such a great coach and is just has his player, the culture of his program so incredibly calm and poised.
Jackson Dubiel hit both of them. Meese picked up the foul, his second personal. Down to 8 seconds to go. Arlington with the basketball. Top side, Meese, 3 on the way, no good. Down to 3, down to 2. Grabbed by Megan, stepped on the out of bounds line with 0.8 of a second. Joe Marsh was sitting in that seat. He gets knocked down. The head coach of the Arlington girls, Megan, he's smiling, and
oh boy,
he took a big, huge hit, and he got knocked over. His brother, Sean, comes over, says, "You okay?" He says, "I've taken bigger hits from you, Buster. Get away from me."
Joe does have a smile on his face, which is good because Chris Megan just went and got him, and that chair just toppled over, kind of like that tree just going down, and that's the worry you have is making sure Joe makes sure nothing important gets hit hard off that floor, but holy shnikes.
Well, you've been there sitting on the bench, and suddenly here comes something.
Well, yeah, but I was younger, and you know, Joe's a big guy, but I'm a little bigger than Joe, and I usually get that. But when you're coaching girls basketball, Tom, the girls flying at you aren't quite as big as you. Chris Megan's a pretty big guy coming at you.
That is now the end of the third quarter. Mountlake Terrace up big, 42-19 over Arlington for the district championship. Fourth quarter coming up next right here on KRKO.
We've still got some work here to do.
Here we go, 42-19 as we start the fourth quarter. Yeah, biggest lead of the game for Mountlake Terrace, up by 23 points. They can afford to take some time off the clock. We can tell you that Joe Marsh is okay. He got up under his own power. He says, though, you know what? Let's head for the barn. Let's head for home. Here's Singh along the baseline for Mountlake Terrace. Turns it over on a bad pass. Picked up by Failer, going in, laying up, no good by Rusko. Everybody touches the basketball. Zachman had it, Singh had it, and then Leighton Martin had it, and now he's got it in the corner. They swing it out to Meese, top of the key. Back out it goes, going in. Rusko laying no good. That was actually, Martin had it.
Yep. That was Martin on the last attempt there that got fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line now.
All of that, nothing went in.
Tom, I think about 8 different guys of the 10 on the court touched the ball, and I think about 4 of them touched it more than once, all in the span of 5 seconds.
First free throw is good. Twos picks up the foul. His first personal foul, only the first team foul of the second half.
0 fouls called on Mountlake Terrace in the third quarter.
Next free throw rattles and goes for Martin. He's got 10 points in the ball game. 7:20 to play in the ball game. Double score here, 42-21. Xavier Jones goes to the baseline, knocks over one player. They're going to call for the offensive foul.
Yeah, and you can see right there when Jones got that head of steam going. You know, it's so hard. I don't even know if Meese really took that on the chest necessarily in a charged position, but Jones is just such a big, powerful body. If players go down, it doesn't look good. So I think that was one of those calls he got right there.
That's his third personal foul, second team foul. That's Martin with it. Turned around, puts up a jumper, kind of a no-look pass or no-look shot that didn't go. It looked like he wasn't looking. And the ball, though, goes out of bounds. It'll be last touch by Arlington.
Kind of felt like Leighton Martin got a lot of contact on the arm right there as he's shooting that ball, but
full court pressure. Meese carries it out of bounds, though. Meese went through and was blocking it, and then carried the ball out of bounds, so it stays in possession of Mountlake Terrace with 27 on the shot clock, 6:54 to go in the game. Inbounds pass as full court pressure being applied here. Chris Megan will bring it into front court to Jones. He pushes over Leighton Martin like he's a fly on his wrist. Down to the baseline goes Mountlake Terrace. Dubiel now to that reverse lay and no good by Megan. Back up and in by Jones. Xavier Jones got it off the miss by Megan, and it's out to a 44-21 lead. 23-point lead for Mountlake Terrace. Dribbling in is Jacob Thaler, goes to the baseline, gives it off to Martin. Now over to Zachman. Zachman trying to back in. Good luck with that. Trying to back in against Xavier Jones. And see who they're going to get. They're going to get Chris Megan with the foul. That's his fourth personal foul. Third team foul, and here comes David Zachman to the free throw line to shoot here. First free throw, no good. He will get another. Both these teams will advance to the regional round. That'll happen. Well, it depends on where they are seated. Both of these teams should be seated high enough they don't have to worry about making their way on a play-in game.
Yeah, and that free throw right there looks like Zachman missed it, but they're going to get another shot at it because I think Megan might have entered it a little bit early right there.
Yeah.
But Tom, just like you were saying with the RPI right now, I mean, coming into this game, we have no idea what it's going to look like after this game, but coming into this game and this night across the state, Arlington had the number 3 RPI in the state, and Mountlake Terrace is the number 6 RPI in the state. Obviously, Terrace isn't going to move down. They're going to move up with a win over a number 3 RPI.
Right.
I don't foresee Arlington moving out of the top 8. I don't know. It could be that close, could be that tight numbers-wise.
Of course, they use the RPI as a guide,
Yep.
but it's now a committee.
Yeah, right.
It's now a committee. It's not an RPI.
Which I appreciate that, is when you look at that, you appreciate that it's not just a computer making that, but as Steve Willis just said in my ear, that hurts him a little bit too, because when you start looking at just the last couple weeks for the Arlington Eagles, it doesn't look as good as it was early on. They had an early first game loss of the season,
right,
and then they lost again to Mountlake Terrace right after Christmas. But then they lost the last 2 games of the season, of the regular season, to Monroe by a 1-point loss, and then followed on the very next night, and we did that Monroe game, but the very next night after a physical game with Monroe, they went and played Jackson and lost by 7, which is a 4A non-league game that got, I think, snowed out. But it is what it is. It's just that frustration thing of it doesn't look as good because they've had a couple losses down the stretch here at the end.
Well, and keep in mind, this is a Mountlake Terrace team that won Wesco last year. I think they had, a 17-3 record. The committee got together. They were like number 4 or 5 in the RPI, and they put them at number 9. So state doesn't necessarily recognize Wesco as being that strong. So if you're Arlington and you're down by 22 right now, that is going to affect where they're going to end up in that that committee.
Sure could. When you have people making those decisions, it's going to be hard to look in and see exactly what they're feeling, but that's part of that thing that we're all going to be curious about and probably see tomorrow, late afternoon, I would guess, when those matchups get released.
Here's Arlington now with the basketball. David Zachman goes in, off the glass and in for the Eagles. He's only got 3 points in the ball game. 5:48 to play in the game. 44-24. Here's Xavier Jones goes in, puts up a lay-in, no good. Affected there by Meese. Grabbed by Martin out of backcourt. Here come the Arlington Eagles. Leighton Martin on the dribble. Swing it past right side to Rusko. Back to the basket, back out to Martin again. Goes around the defender, goes around 2 defenders, puts it up too hard, no good. He went to the floor. Rebound grabbed down by Singh. Outlet pass up the floor to Logan Tews, and they'll set up the offense. Dubiel falls down for some inexplicable reason. Goes down the pass into Jones. He got fouled on the way in. Well, see, we got fouls and we've got people on the floor, and so we're going to have free throws here for Xavier Jones.
and I appreciate the effort that these players are giving. Arlington, you know, there's 5:14 left, Tom. I don't want to say that anything, you know, that it's not possible,
No.
but down 44-24, just the kind of the night it's been for the Arlington Eagles guys team here. I don't see this as probably a comeback that's going to storm us and happen here. And yet at the same time, you want these guys giving that effort because there are more games to play. You don't want them to get kind of pulled back. And what Nick Brown said at halftime to Steve Willett saying we need to play for, this is just a game. Stop worrying about net, stop worrying about ranking, stop worrying about all these other things that really you can't control, and just go play and see if you can't find a rhythm here in this last 5 minutes that'll help impact you positively moving forward into the regionals.
Zachman had picked up the foul, his second personal foul. Free throw, one is good. It's 45-24. Outside three ball on the way that won't go for Arlington. Silas Miller on the miss. We're at 5 minutes to play exactly in the game. Up the floor, here comes Mountlake Terrace. Into front court, they move. Swing it to Dubiel. Dubiel to the baseline, puts it up with the right hand, and it drops through. Kind of a little runner with the right hand up and in, and opens up now a 23-point lead. Mountlake Terrace equals their biggest lead of the ball game. Dribble drive in. Hand check foul is going to be called beforehand, though. As Leighton Martin says, you know, don't call the foul, I'll just take your bucket. It's not going to work that way.
Yeah, he wished he could have gotten the bucket and the foul and given him three right there, but unfortunately, no.
Logan Tews will pick up the foul, his second personal foul. Underneath it goes. This time he will get fouled, and he will go to the free throw line, trying to complete the three-point play. He crumples to the ground after getting hit. And this one is going to be on Logan Tews, his third personal foul, fifth team foul, and trying to complete the three-point play will be Leighton Martin.
You know, this is the thing. Martin he's going to be bruised and battered tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. Couldn't put that free throw down, but man, he sure plays hard. Love watching the effort he gives.
And the rebound's going to be controlled here by Mountlake Terrace. Up the floor they come. Hawks with it at 4.5 minutes to play in the game. Outside three ball on the way. That will not go. A miss by Rayshawn Connor. And this is going to be controlled here by Arlington. Aiden Meese comes into front court. Behind the back dribble, dumps a pass underneath. He didn't think it was coming. Jacob Failer had no idea. He kind of looks at his hands like, hands, you failed me. I couldn't handle the pass. Came in hot, though.
I think Failer was taking that one gather step to try to get up there and get that rebound if it was to miss, and Meese like, oh, I'm going to dump it to you. And it's like, it's kind of a microcosm, Tom, of just what's gone on tonight for the Arlington Eagles. It's like, it's a great take. It's a great move that Meese had to get around the defender, and it just can't work.
Nearly stolen here by Meese, and then finally grabbed by Failer. Meese gets it back to the baseline, back to the basket, and then Dubiel comes through. He gets the interception. Now down the floor, going up, laying up, good by Xavier Jones. There's another case where just about everybody on the floor touched the basketball.
You know, Arlington has a near steal 2 different times in the backcourt. The ball's going to bounce. I think it was Tews that might have jumped out of bounds, was able to toss it back in and save it. I'm not even sure who made the long court pass onto Joe. You're just like, if you're Nick Brown and the Arlington coach staff, you're like, you've got to be kidding me. It doesn't matter what we do. They still find a way to slop it around and get a bucket in the end from it.
Now look what Nick Brown has them.
Yep, Nick Brown has them all gathered up the exact same way they start after introductions. They all gather arm in arm around. They start this way, they finish this way after games, arm in arm around each other. He's speaking into all of them, every coach, every player right now. And it's the way of saying, I guarantee he's talking right now, talking about like, this isn't our last game. It is about the future. Do not lose sight of that. Don't start doing things different. You don't chip at each other. We are a family. We got here together this way, and we're going to end this way. Even with a loss tonight, it doesn't matter. We're moving forward.
And I've been in groups that have gotten to keep your head up.
Yes.
You walk out here with your head held high, right?
Absolutely. You're an Arlington Eagle, and we are proud of that. And we're going to continue to be proud of that, regardless of a score or outcome of a game.
Now, Monday at practice, we're running.
We might talk about a few things, but we are moving forward. This is the great thing about being a part of a district championship game is win or lose, you're moving on.
Outside shot on the way by Jacob Failer. That's going to be a miss. Grabbed by Mountlake Terrace. They have the basketball. In backcourt coming out is Logan Tews. And now in the front court, Jackson Dubia holds the ball on his hip. Now cross-court pass over the right side to Tews again, and a foul called. Overplay on the defense. 1-1 coming up here. It'll be Jacob Thaler will be the guilty party here. It's his second personal foul. The 7th team foul called on Arlington. And Logan Toos will be at the free throw line, the 5'11 junior. 3:26 to play in the game, 49-26 to score. Terrace with the lead. Up by 23, up by 24. That is now their biggest lead of this ball game. Arlington did not have the lead at all in the game. In fact, it was 16-2 in favor of Mountlake Terrace at the end of the first quarter. It took to inside 2 minutes before Arlington even got on the board. It's been that kind of night for the Eagles.
And you know, it's pretty rare when you have such great talent on both sides. And this was in the girls' game earlier too, Tom. Arlington led wire to wire in the girls' game. Was never down. Salmon never had a lead. We turn around, we have the exact same similar. Now the girls' game is much closer, but the exact same similar situation here where Mountlake Terrace has never trailed in this game.
So here is Arlington with it. A fadeaway jumper, foul line just inside the foul line, up and in for Jake Willis for the Eagles. Full court pressure by Arlington. Dubiel brings it into front court. Swings a pass into the right corner to Chris Megan. Megan almost lost a handle on it, bounces out top side. It goes to Zink. Now to Megan again. Trapped there, goes to Xavier Jones. Had the ball knocked away, but he goes and retrieves it himself. Megan gets hit from the side and will go to the free throw line, and David Zachman will pick up the foul for Arlington. Zachman picks up his 3rd personal foul, and the team foul number 8 called on Arlington. And Megan at the free throw line for the Hawks. Free throw, good. He will get another in the 1-1 here. And our coverage coming up this next week will be determined after it's all determined as to who's going to be playing who and where and when, and all that's determined. They're saying by midday sometime tomorrow that'll all be ironed out.
And these coaches, having been one of them before, you usually start looking around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, noon,
refresh,
1 o'clock.
refresh.
And, you know, and you're like, gosh, what's taking them? So you're like, well, these guys got to sit down, or these men and women got to sit down as a committee and hash things out and figure things out. You're like, just tell me so we can figure out and move forward.
Here going in, laying up good by Leighton Martin off a steal. Yeah, refresh. Then you're checking whether or not is the internet on?
Is this thing on? Is this working?
Is the Wi-Fi? Is somebody messed with the modem?
Do we need new batteries in this thing? I mean, come on, what's going on here?
Bad pass up the floor. It's going to be knocked out of bounds here by Jake Willis of Arlington. So Mountlake Terrace will retain possession with 24 on the shot clock, 2:17 to go in the game, and a 23-point lead for the Hawks. 53-20 the score.
Tom, I would
53-30.
Yeah,
not that bad. 23,
not that bad, but still, if you had said,
if
you'd said with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, this would be a 53-30.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And we have, are they? I missed what they were doing. Were they having words?
Yeah, it was senior Ty Rusko for Arlington and senior Chris Megan. There's a foul that occurred there, and
they're sending the teams to their each respective side, and I think the officials are going to talk. Did we have a timeout called? I don't think so.
Well, no, it was a double technicals. I think what they're they're going to consider it, I think. But it was Rusko and Megan just kind of got themselves, and you know, it's a proud senior moment for Megan, but it's also a tough senior moment for Rusko right there. There was no pushing, but it looked like some comments were made, and it looks like Rusko didn't appreciate the comment, whatever it might have been. But looks like cooler heads are going to prevail here.
Mark Myers, 2 tees. Do we shoot? Go to the arrow, or is it resume?
Well, they're gonna shoot the foul shots.
Right. Okay, offsetting fouls then on the
and we'll see what they go to here, as they talked about. They're going to bring both coaches in to talk to them.
That's our Mike Pereira there, Mark Myers.
Yeah, that was Mark Myers on his way by. We appreciate his time that he gives to us.
Long-time official.
Long-time lover of high school basketball and just appreciate what he does with his camera as well now.
Yeah, Nick Brown and Nayland Sood gathering there at the with each other. So they're going to shoot the foul shots. We'll have 2 technical fouls. Now the official bench is calling.
Well, we're going to see what this is here.
You know, with 2 minutes and 10 seconds, let's just move on. But
well, and Rusko's trying to figure what did I do here? And I know Ty Rusko a little bit. He was a tennis player as well, and I coach tennis. That's the home.
Oh, he's your guy.
Been
your
around him a lot.
Baseball too, right?
He's qualified for the state tennis tournament already. He's gonna maybe get to the state, probably get to the state basketball tournament, and he's a baseball guy too. So Ty Rusko for Arlington's got a shot at I mean, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but Arlington baseball has been highly successful in the last number of years, and so
a common foul and a double technical, according to Frank Foster on the PA. Rusko's not the biggest guy ever in the world either.
No, but he's got a lot of heart.
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
And I think, and actually that's Megan's 5th foul. So he is going to go to the bench. But wasn't he shooting the free throws? So
we're going to have free throw here for Rayshawn Connor.
Well, that's a new one. So,
yeah.
And right there, Nayland Sood just came off out of his seat. He just sat back down, but he came out of his seat and he yelled at his players and said, "Knock it off.
Yeah.
Do what you're supposed to do and finish this game." And you can just tell it's the thought of control, 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 stay under control.
And I don't know why you have players there if you're. We're gonna. And
well, we're
Mark
not shooting
Myers
the tees.
Mark Myers just texted me, said we'll go to point of interruption.
Yep. And so the 2 technicals occurred on a dead ball, and now you're going to be having shooting. It's going to be actually 2 shots because Arlington's in the double bonus. It was a common foul on Rusko, and then they had double T on that on him and Megan, and so Rayshawn Connor is shooting these 2 now.
First one is good, and he will get another here. And now we're going to have some substitutions coming off the bench. And actually both Nick Brown and Nayland Sood have been pretty calm through this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you know, honestly, there wasn't some dust up there. There wasn't, no. It was just that frustration, and honestly the frustration for Arlington and not playing the way they hoped they would, not having it go the way they hoped it would go. So, yeah.
So now we're going to have another free throw coming up here for Rayshawn Connor for Mountlake Terrace. Free throw good. The lead is 25 points. That's their biggest lead of the game for the Hawks. Now Arlington with the basketball. Out top of the key, Caden Heiss. Down low it goes to Jace Rischula. Dribble drive in, going in is Aiden Meese, puts up a shot, up and in. Aiden Meese with the bucket. He kind of sort of kept Arlington in it in the 3rd quarter, although then they got kind of boat raced here in this 4th quarter by Mountlake Terrace. So both teams going with the, well, Xavier Jones still out there, so is Jackson Dubiel. I think they're going to come out in the next dead ball. Going in, Dubiel has it along the right side, puts it up with the right hand, up and in. Jackson Dubiel with the bucket. A timeout called on the floor.
It looks like Twos might have a cramp, I'm hoping. It looks like he's grabbing at his calf.
Yeah,
yep, they're just stretching it out. Looks like it's just a cramp. Definitely don't want anything more at this point.
When the trainer goes over, grabs your leg, and just wrenches it up, you figure, okay, it's not broken. Let's go down to Steve.
Yeah, you know, and Sabora Dean, who's a phenomenal athletic trainer, came over right away, and she had a smile on her face. Logan buried his face into Sean Kirk, the assistant coach's shoulder, and I think even Sean kind of got a kick out of it. He's been there. Sean was a great basketball player in his own right, so we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
When you said great basketball player and you said we've all been there, were you also referencing Steve and I?
I was talking about the cramp, certainly.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure.
Going in.
I was a great basketball player if you take the word great out of the equation.
Couple of misses there by Arlington. Down to a minute to play in this one. It's been all Mountlake Terrace all night long in this district championship. As now Terrace with it, a little bump, a little grind, a little foul, a little travel, and that's all going to happen on that one possession underneath the hoop. Down to 51 seconds to play in the game. Both teams now with all subs out on the floor. Just to wrap this one up, both teams will advance, and they will head into the regionals. All that decided tomorrow at the WIAA office in Renton. Little knockover there, no call. The official says, we got to get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
We've been here way, way too long tonight. Down to 30 seconds to go. As they'll move it down, right side, three. No, they're going to call it travel. He had a chance to get in the book. Joe Asalifu. Nice looking shot.
Good looking shot, just shuffled the feet first.
Just a little bit too much. Down to 23 seconds to go. Shot clock is dead. We're going to hear from the victorious head coach. We'll hear from our player of the game. Down low. They swing it. Aiden Meese. Meese has it. Down to 8, down to 7. Outside 3 on the way. He got hit as he let go of the basketball. So a miss there for Cade Hunter. Kept alive here. The ball goes out of bounds. One last toss in, and that will be that. And Mountlake Terrace will get set to cut down the nets, and they will, and Terrace will win it. Final score of 57-34. So Mountlake Terrace will win the district championship game for the boys in the Class 3A with a 57-34 win over the Arlington Eagles. We'll step aside for 1 minute and come back with our post-game wrap-up, and we'll talk with our player of the game and the victorious head coach. 1 minute break. Again, the final score, Mountlake Terrace 57, Arlington 34. Back in 60 seconds.
We at Gene Johnson are here and ready to help with our touch-free service. Being clean and safe are at the top of our minds. We're using gloves, masks, shoe covers, and lots of hand sanitizer. Our software allows us to get your approval without any physical contact. We hope you don't need us, but if you do, we're ready. Gene Johnson, clean, on time, and professional.
Wins at 57-34 over Arlington. We're going to hear from a bunch of players and the head coach as well. Nayland Sood is there lined up there with the trophy. And Jackson Dubiel just stood up and stood in front of Joe Asalafu, and he kind of pushed his shoulders and get down, you're blocking me. I got a grandma and grandpa that want to see me in the picture too.
Absolutely. That one's going to go in the trophy case from years from now. That's still going to be there just as a district championship. Those are coveted. Those are absolutely coveted. So what a phenomenal thing for the Mountlake Terrace Hawks.
Preston Dwoskin, the keeper of the scissors, hands it to Jackson Dubiel, who heads up. He's going to be one of our players of the game. He's going to cut down part of the net. And we'll send it down to Steve when he's ready and has somebody to talk to.
We got somebody to talk to you right here. Head coach Nayland Sood, back-to-back district champs. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so happy for these kids. And, you know, we talked a year ago. You never know what a whole year is going to bring. And these guys just every day in practice. And I think they worked hard to get this opportunity. No one's guaranteed anything. And they worked so hard. They put themselves in a good position again. And they get to go up there. And, again, I said it last year, it's one of the most beautiful things you can see when kids get rewarded for their hard work, and that's what they're doing right now.
Last year when we talked, and even into the state tournament, you took 6th at state. You talked about what the seniors had meant to you. You had 6 seniors on that team that really through thick and thin had been there, and I kind of wondered at that point, what's it going to be like to have to tried to chase down another district title without those 6, and yet here we are, all different squads this year almost.
Maybe those 6 are with us still right now, with the lessons we learned, and when we can talk about those guys and how they did and the adversity they had and overcame things like any basketball team, maybe they're still living with us, and that's the great thing about the basketball program here at Terrace is, you know, the ghosts of the past have taught the current guys how to get things done, maybe even more so than any of us as coaches do. So credit to our seniors and credit to these kids that they listened. They got a lot of wisdom from their experience with those guys.
Definitely. We always talk about MOUNTLAKE Terrace defense. Final score shows 34 for Arlington. They had 19 going into the fourth quarter tonight.
Yeah, well, they got their 15, but, you know, we knew we had to guard them. You're not just going to beat them with offense, and we got a lot of, I think, offense from our defense. And so the kids take pride in learning what the other teams are going to do. They take pride in taking away their strengths. You hope at the end of the day it works, but these guys do a lot of things that you just can't coach. You know, we can coach them certain things, but they take it to another level with their work ethic, with their intensity, and just their overall toughness. And so, you know, 2 years in a row, I'm really fortunate to coach these guys, but I've been just fortunate to coach at Terrace.
The maturation of some of the players throughout the season is pretty remarkable too. I think about Svejit and how far he's come just in the last 2 months. Not only that, but this is a guy who's been pretty special all along, but Jackson Dubiel, it feels like every time I see him, he gets just a little bit better. And the scary thing is he's only a junior.
We just talk about every day being better, you know, being better in everything we do. And it doesn't show sometimes, but over the long run, the process, if you keep working every day to do that and not resting on any successes, just trying to get better. But, you know, when kids do that, then they can build up some confidence from their self-growth also.
Give a shout out to your coaches really quick. A lot of those guys, we recognize them. You have former players. Greg Wirtz has been with you for 100 years.
Well, you know, we can finish, and Coach Ottmar's not here, but he was here earlier, and we can finish each other's sentence. And I'm not sure it's that great for them to have to work with me every day, but I'm fortunate to work with the McCole Maddoxes, the Anthony Asburys, the Sean Kirks, the Greg Wirtz, and Philly, you know, he's been with me for 25 years. I've been with him, and what these kids are getting from those guys, not assistant coaches, co-coaches, because they're such a key part of what we do as a basketball program, and the fact the kids trust them so great is awesome.
We got to talk a little bit about brass taxes here coming up. It's a committee now. It was a committee last year. You won the district championship, and for some reason they took your RPI rating and they kind of threw it out the window and gave you a number 9. I've got to think you made a statement for the committee tonight, though.
I hope so. I hope we prove it on the court. Last year, none of us liked what happened on Sunday, but then the kids went out and took care of business on the court over the next 2 weeks. So we're going to hope to do that again. But we hope that they respect what we've done. We hope they respect our body of work from non-league and what we just did tonight.
What's the rest of the weekend look like for you? Do you get to celebrate this a little bit?
I got WIPCA meetings tomorrow. I'm continuing to grow the game, but then we'll enjoy this a little bit. And then once you find out, the suffering of coaching is once you find out your next opponent, you're going to start worrying about it.
Definitely, Coach. Proud of you. Congratulations once again.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
There you go, the head coach, Nayland Sood. Let's walk over here and try to get some players. Anthony Asbury, a former player at MOUNTLAKE Terrace, one of the assistant coaches, currently in the process of cutting down one of those nets right now. Got his string there. Another fellow bald man, I should point out, now that I've joined the club. And walking through here, and there goes Johnny Phillips.
Another bald guy.
Another bald guy, class of '89. And by the way, Johnny still suits it up in practice and can get up and down the floor with the best of them at like 52 years old. So
also best dressed in the building tonight too.
He always is. So yeah, that's it. Let's go over and talk to some of these players while we're at it here. We're gonna make our way over here. Svejit Singh, we're gonna have you turn around because we got a camera up there. You're on STSPN right now. Congratulations, you just won another district title. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
We should point out too, there we go, Nayland Sood holding up the net right now. We got 2 player of the game shirts to give out. We're gonna name you as one of them here. You're gonna get our Marysville Toyota KRKO player of the game, 13 points tonight. Xavion goes to the bench early in foul trouble, and you just kind of pick up the whatever needed to happen. Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, I just did what I needed to do. I mean, yeah, that's about it.
Fair to say that your game got better throughout the season. I feel like every time I see you, you progress.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm working hard. I mean, at first at the start of the season, I had to adapt. I mean, it was different. JV was different last year. So yeah.
Congratulations. I'm going to give you the sweatshirt. I'll get a picture with you in a few minutes here with this. We're going to have you hold on to that. And you are heading to the state tournament. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
So there we go. We got Svajit Singh right there as Seamus Boxley, maybe the greatest Mount Lake Terrace Hawk player of all time here, congratulating some of the guys. Also, his nephew, Chris Megan, so I'm sure he's in there as well. Chris getting a picture right now with the trophy. Jackson Dubiel right here. We are going to give Jackson the other player of the game shirt. We're going to have you hold that up, and I'll get a picture with you in a few minutes here. I talked to you last year after the district championship game. You were just a young whippersnapper. We'll get you here so we can get you to the camera. You were just a young buck at the time, just getting a little bit of minutes here and there. Now, full-fledged senior. You're a starter. You're one of the stars of this team.
Junior.
I'm sorry, I meant junior. One of the stars of this team. How are you feeling right now?
This is amazing. Back-to-back. You don't see that often, and just a credit to our coaches and our durability all year. We went through we were 4-4 at one point, and I don't know where we are right now, but it's a lot better than that. So I don't know. It's just a lot of emotions right now, but happy.
Talk about how much better this team got, and maybe you for that matter too, throughout the course of the season, because you mentioned you were 4-4. It feels like this team really progressed as the year went along.
Yeah, most of it was we getting to our feet. We had some players playing football, all that stuff, and we just bought into the defensive end. Second game of the year, someone had 72 on us. Someone hasn't had that all year since then, so it's all about defensively. We knew we were going to be a good offensive beat coming into the year, and it was all about defense. So we bought into our coaches and trusted them, and that's what got us to this point. So it's all the defense here at Terrace, and man-to-man, that's what we do.
It's kind of preached here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all we do all year. We put it up on the board. What defense are we going to do? Man-to-man, 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 man-to-man. That's what we do.
Well, certainly defense, and you've also put up a lot of points lately. I saw your dad taking pictures a moment, a proud dad there. He played a little college ball back in his day at Central Washington. Who wins a one-on-one game there? Dad looks like he can still play a little bit.
I would say he's a better shooter than me, but other than that, he hasn't got no answers for me. I think the last time he beat me, I was like 13 maybe, so it's about 35, 40 wins in a row.
There we go. He's got his dad's number then playing basketball. Well, again, you're heading back to the state tournament. Congratulations again. We'll get you a player of the game shirt. We'll get a picture of you later. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much, Steve. You got more?
Yeah, we're gonna get a few more here while we can.
Let's
There's a lot to process here as we got some guys. I'm gonna sneak by here in just a second as they're taking photos with the trophy here. Maybe we'll sneak over here and get a few other guys as I'm walking over here. How about Andrew Delgadillo? Andrew, I think that might have been your best game of the year. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, maybe.
Talk a little bit about your situation. I know you were injured earlier in the season, and maybe you weren't getting as many minutes. Tonight, they needed you in a big moment, and you came in and you got the job done. You were getting points, you were getting boards, doing a little bit of everything on the biggest stage so far.
Yeah, just staying ready whenever they need me, so.
Is that kind of the way it's been all year long? Is that what the coach has been telling you?
Yeah, pretty much. Whenever I need to be called, I'm ready to go, so.
How excited are you to get the chance to cut this net down and to go back to state?
Oh, I'm so excited about it, man. To Domington, it's going to be amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Chris Megan is right here, too. We're going to try to get Chris and Logan Twos here in just a second. We got you on STSPN Live. Chris, another district championship. How does this one feel? A little bit different than last year. Obviously, your role's kind of increased over this amount of time.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. We've had our ups and downs. My role's a little more intense, but Coach Sood always knows how to go out and prepare the guys and keep me calm and motivated. I always get in my own head, and Coach always seems to calm us down. And being a two-time champ, right now, there's not a better feeling. Like, these guys work so hard. I know the blood, sweat, and tears that went into this. I've been doing it for 4 years. I can't even believe that I'm here again. And to do it with some of the same guys, it just means so much more than a lot of people understand until you're on this stage. So it just feels great to be here, and I'm so glad I got to play at Terrace these years.
I mentioned to Coach that the 6 seniors that were there last year are now gone. He mentioned in a lot of ways they are still here because of some of the legacy that they built and kind of laying down the foundation for you guys. You're a senior on a team with a lot of juniors and sophomores. Is that kind of the way this approach is taken at Mount Lake Terrace? Do you guys just kind of leave it for the next?
It kind of goes without saying. We don't really, prep and say, hey, before this game, senior's gonna have a pregame speech with a sophomore. That's just not how it goes. We just, as a senior, I saw some guys were nervous before the game, myself included, but I have my own ways to deal with it. But the guys, just talking to them, letting them know that they're all right, and it's just another game. same thing with Coach Sue. Coach Sue doing the same thing. It's just we come out there and we're prepared and we just do what we got to do. And, you know, playing with this guy over here, this lanky dude, Jackson, is nothing better at the moment. So, I mean, I love these guys. I can't even think straight.
I want to ask you.
I don't even know if what I'm saying is making.
You're saying some great stuff here. I want to ask you about the name on the jersey, Terrace. Your uncles played at Mountlake Terrace. They left a legacy behind. How much does it mean to put that jersey on and to take this team to state?
It means a great deal. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. I've talked about this moment for years with my uncles, and now being here 2 years in a row, like, there's nothing like it. I mean, I had great leadership and a great example last year with all those guys, and, you know, this year I'm just glad I can kind of say I did the same.
You know, on the offensive side, don't let them get what they can do. And, you know, they had a lot of good players. So that was our main goal to come into this. Zay played great defense. Eshe, everybody on the team played great defense. And I feel like, you know, in practice we worked so hard, so I feel like we're ready for this.
Your defense was outstanding tonight. You had a couple of big baskets at the stretch. I think it was early third quarter, too. Talk a little bit about that and trying to ignite the offense when they needed a spark.
You know, well, for me, I feel like I just need to play my role in a way because I know all the guys on the team can score. They do what they do. So I feel like if I need to score, I can try and do what I can do. And I'm more of a facilitator. I like getting my teammates involved, and I like seeing them, you know, shine. But I felt like I had it, and I just took it to the hoop, and I don't know. I tried to do what I could do.
How did it feel to get that second net?
So I didn't get the second net.
Oh, that's right. You weren't. Okay, that's right.
It feels great, though, right now because I was so proud of my guys last year, but I just worked and couldn't be more grateful for Coach Suits giving me another chance, really.
And Tacoma sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
It sounds great.
Logan Tews, go enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you.
Man right here has lost.
There we go. Logan Tews. I did want to get one or two. Oh, we got Xavion over here. We got to get him. While we're waiting for Xavion, Rayshawn, I want to ask you about, you might have had the play of the game. You were going down to the floor, and you threw that ball over your shoulder right to Xavion. Just luck, or did you know he was there?
I knew he was there, but I'm surprised he even got there. I was falling in the middle of it, and yeah.
What does it mean for you to be able to get up on that ladder and cut a net down?
Huh?
What does it mean for you to get up on that ladder and cut a net down tonight?
A lot. It's my first year playing varsity, and I feel good about making it this far, and feel like we worked hard to deserve it too.
You enjoying the process?
Yeah.
All right, best of luck to you in Tacoma.
You too. Thank you.
And we're going to get Xavion before we go here. I know they're trying to kick us out, but he's getting photos, but we want to get him before we go off the air. Xavion. Oh, they're going to get one more picture here, it looks like. I'm going to follow him over here. We can't let him go without. Xavion, talk a little bit about tonight and what it meant to get that second net down.
It meant real well. Real good. Running back with all my teammate. It feels good, though.
I was talking early in the first quarter there against Mount Vernon the other night. When you were in the game, your team went on runs. When you were out of the game, they fell behind. It really felt like they really, really needed you. Tonight, you went out with foul trouble, and some of the guys stepped up and had your back tonight. How did that feel?
It felt really good to know that I can come out the game and I can trust all my other teammates to pick up the slack when I'm not doing it. But when I come back in the game, I'm going to make sure that we're still running up.
Were you surprised at how easy it came to you guys tonight? You know this is a good Arlington team. You beat them by 17 earlier, but every game's a new game. You jump out to a 14-0 lead. Were you surprised at that?
I mean, we just kept on putting the work in. We never stopped. Every game is not going to be an easy game, but we were preparing for this all week, so we got the W.
What does this team need to do to get even further in Tacoma this year? You took a 6th-place trophy last year. What are you guys going to need to get done?
Just keep doing what we're doing. That's it.
Xavion Jones, congratulations. You're a 2-time district champ.
Thank you.
So there you have it. A lot of great things going there. We're signing off. They're trying to kick us out of the gym. Oh, absolutely. We're going to get you in just a second here. Okay, and so the Mountlake Terrace Hawks, 57-34. I'll throw back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Steve. And we will take a break and come back and take a look at the numbers and wrap it up from here at Everett Community College. Again, the final score, 57-34, Mountlake Terrace over Arlington. Back with our final segment after this timeout.